To remove or not to remove the Sheridan Expressway? To answer this question, we need to go back in time. In 1914, the Bronx became the 62nd county of New York State. Just 10 years previous, the subway had been extended to 149th Street, and the area was beginning to see consistent growth. The population was predominantly white. Between 1900 and 1930, the number of Bronx residents increased from about 200,000 to over 1 million people. About 49% of the inhabitants of the Bronx in the 1930s were Jewish, and most of whom worked in Manhattan. Due to slum clearing in Manhattan in the early 1900s, about 170,000 people, mostly Black and Puerto Rican, were displaced. They moved to Hunts Point as well as other neighborhoods in the Bronx. It was first in 1950 that social workers reported enduring poverty in the South Bronx. After a period of dramatic population loss in the 1970s and early 80s, the population began to grow again. More than a quarter of the 1.2 million residents in 1990 were Puerto Rican.
In the 90s, I remember a lot of rubble on the floor. You only knew that you were coming to this part because something was up, like something bad. Growing up, I was a part of those residents that were tired of just seeing Hunts Point as this really bad neighborhood. It was time for a change.
What does the community look like today? The South Bronx is home to miles of highway, more than a dozen waste transfer stations, and a sewage treatment plant and truck traffic from some of the busiest wholesale produce, meat, and fish markets in the world. Hunts Point specifically is designated an M3 district for heavy industries that generate noise, traffic, and pollutants. In a study conducted by the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, hospitalization for asthma for children under 16 is 6 per 1,000 children, twice the national average. The majority of these cases, when broken down by borough, occurred in the Bronx.
Hunts Point is a transitional community, and we tend to be a community of now a lot of undocumented folks. We have a lot of families coming in and then a lot of families leaving because it's definitely not a place where families see themselves raising a family, because you still have a community that's seriously so overburdened that one would not even want to stay. When you think of healthy, most families are not thinking of Hunts Point.
The Sheridan Expressway was built in 1963, connecting the Bruckner Expressway and the Cross Bronx Expressway. It is 1.25 miles long and serves about 35,000 vehicles each day, according to the New York City Department of Transportation. The highway primarily serves trucks driving to and from the Hunts Point Food Distribution Center, the largest food distribution center in the U.S. One of the main arguments for keeping the Sheridan Expressway concerns access to the Hunts Point Food Distribution Center. It is common perception that keeping the Sheridan Expressway is more efficient. However, alternate routes show equally efficient ways of getting to and from the Hunts Point Food Distribution Center. From a demographics perspective, keeping the Sheridan Expressway brings no benefits at all to the community.
These highways are pretty traumatizing. Like, they literally cut me off from the next person, or they literally cut me off from waterfront access. They literally cut me off from potential affordable housing. They literally cut me off from green space. They cut me off from a lot of different things. There's something pretty empowering and extraordinary about taking back your land.
Removing the Sheridan would open a total of 28 acres of land. Some advocates want to transform 13 acres to open space along the river and the other 15 to service roads and riverfront property to create affordable housing units, commercial and industrial space, and amenities like playgrounds, swimming pools, and soccer fields. To give you an idea of how 28 acres could impact the community, let's explore 3 scenarios.
Yes, people use it. But was it meant for us? No. Just because it's been there for that long doesn't mean it needs to stay there.